I'm saying what's good.
So they say when it's up and it's stuck. However, like I don't even know what that means. So
Right,
hold
me
on, she
either.
laughing. Oh, okay. I thought maybe it was something
I
I
don't know.
shouldn't be
Read the
saying for
rest.
her to be laughing.
Read the rest. I could get the context clues.
No, this is me saying this.
Oh, okay.
When it's up, then it's up. Hold on. When it's up, then it's up. See, now I don't even remember how the hell I got
Then it's stuck.
Then it's stuck.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, like how one minute is up in the relationship, then one minute is not. Like how does that even go with this back and forth with the men? One minute we might be together, then the next minute we ain't together. But
That's my whole 5-year relationship.
but what's crazy about it is when you dating me, you dating me. So whether you think we not together, we together. And when you think that you gonna quit me, there is no quitting me. That ain't gonna happen. My husband found out the hard way.
Right.
So once we together until I say we not together.
But I think even when you don't want to be together, when you like a good woman for real, them niggas ain't gonna let you go. Like even when you be trying to make them let you go, you be trying. Even when you be trying to walk away from it.
She said once you try to make them let you go.
I've definitely been trying for at least the last 18 months.
I ain't going nowhere.
Hell no.
Now why? Why is that? Let me ask you this.
Because I think that men a lot of times don't really want to step up to the plate. Like I honestly in my situation that sometimes I'll be like, I feel like you don't really like me, but you realize that you ain't gonna find nobody else like me because you realize it's going to require some shit for you to really be what you need to be, and you don't really want to step up to the plate.
Wow. So you know what though? That actually comes back to the again. Didn't I tell y'all repetitive conversations? They keep happening over and over and over. Different place. Well, no, same place, different times, different people. Because we just had a conversation that said they're not used to being held accountable.
Yeah.
Therefore,
that's the conversation I had. You're not used to being held accountable.
wow.
You've been used to doing things this way, and there's nothing wrong with that. You just can't do that with me.
Didn't we say that? We said since the younger women are not holding them accountable, that when the women that's out here looking for a man that's not going to accept the nonsense, there's no connection because they're going to hold them accountable. We just said that.
But the crazy thing is not even really just the younger women, because I see this shit in a lot of older women too.
Wow, that is, yeah, she made a good point. Now see, we didn't speak on that part, but she is absolutely correct. She is absolutely correct. There is a lot of women out here doing the same thing. They're allowing the same men to do the same thing to them, not holding them accountable.
Yeah. And then they get so many with social media now. They get so much validation for their nonsense too.
See, and that's crazy to me. You know what I mean? It's like ain't that much validation in the world. You gonna do right by me?
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, it's and I think that also social media has made it harder too because people be feeling like they got so many options, and then they realize quickly you don't.
Say that again, please.
You really don't.
No, repeat that whole thing you just said
No,
so that they can really hear what you just said.
Social media makes people feel like they have a lot of options, when in reality, you don't.
Wow. So meanwhile, y'all out here trying to ruin a good thing.
For validation from people who don't even matter.
Who don't even matter.
Instead of putting that energy into what does.
Now, why do you think people are looking for validation?
Um, I can say for here though, I feel like a little bit of it is just kind of I see it more here, not just here, but in places where people come from small towns. I feel like they a lot of times need more validation than
Bigger cities and
mhm
stuff.
mhm
That's because everybody know everybody and everybody is
mhm
together. That's what that is.
yeah. But I feel like knowing somebody and knowing of somebody is two completely different things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Some
Mm-hmm.
people feel like, oh, I know them because we went to middle school together. But bitch, we 50. Like, you don't know
Look,
me.
you don't know. Listen, and if you did, I'm not who I used to be.
Right.
I can tell you that right now. Like I'm not the same kook I was running through them hallways,
Right.
tearing stuff up.
Right. I'm not
I've
the same person I
changed.
was 5 years ago.
Exactly. But you know what though? That's another thing. A lot of times people expect you to be the same
Mm-hmm.
person. I had a couple of people say, "Oh, don't forget where you came from." Hold on, first and foremost, I came from 13th Street Projects, Hoover Homes. I would never forget that because that's who I
Yeah.
was.
Exactly. That's
But that doesn't mean that's who I have to be the rest of my life. I don't have to have that project
and I don't want
mentality.
to.
I'm not going to.
Mm-hmm.
That actually should have made everybody want to be better.
I don't know. I feel like some people hit their prime though when they was 16 and 17 and 18 and they just be wanting to stay there.
Well,
They never really want to go
have
from
at
there.
it. Listen,
They do. Like a lot think about how many people you know like now that was like that nigga when they was 19 and they
that's
still
true.
be having that same mindset.
That's true. That is true. That's a valid point. Cause some of y'all still think y'all that same dude up that was on 13th Street
Hmm.
and trust and believe. Yeah.
And don't want to grow from that. I see that all the time. Like I used to do this and I used to do that, and I'm like, but that's not what you're doing now.
Right.
So what difference does that make?
Right. And two, like if you want to stay held, you know what I mean, held up back from where you used to be back in the day, and you don't want no growth, and you're content with the bare minimum,
Hmm.
that is fine and dandy. If you love it, if you like it, I love it. But for me, for
Yeah.
people to sit there and say, "Oh, don't forget," hold on. First of all, I'll never forget, but at the same time, I knew I was going to have better because I was going to work to get better,
And it's
and I
about
wanted
growth.
better for my kids. Exactly.
It's about growth. You should always be striving to do better.
Always, always. But again, it comes back to the mentality. Just like
Hmm.
some of these women, I see these women out here being so petty, so
Hmm.
petty. But you know what? It ain't my fight. It ain't my battle. I mind my business.
Nope.
It don't have nothing to do with me.
At all.
So I keep my eyes and my ears open and my mouth shut because that don't have nothing to do with me.
Yeah. That's why I stay to myself because I just some of the stuff I see in here is just like I don't understand it.
I don't either. But again, it's like, all right, the day and time is changing, but
Hmm.
that's to be expected. Um, it's like, how are you going to change with the times?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people too, like y'all gotta want better. I mean,
Hmm.
for me, I don't know.
I'm always thinking about my next move. I know um I told my dude I'm just like listen, relationships are about growth. Like when you get with somebody, it's not supposed to be like we meet and we just kick it and just stay in the same place. It's
Right,
supposed to be like you
right.
come together, you figure out if this is somebody you can elevate with, and you start coming up with a plan to elevate together.
Right.
Like that's what a relationship is in my mind. You support each other, and you come together, and you can figure out if the two of you can grow together. It's about growth. If
It's
it's not growing, then it's stagnant, and it's no need to be doing that.
right. And that's another thing too. Yeah, what are we doing?
Right.
Because again, it comes back to the time we just said earlier about time is a valuable.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. No, I told him I'm like I know you did this and this is what you did previously, but that's not what I do.
Yeah, so what you're used to ain't
It's
going
not gonna work
it's not
here.
gonna work in my world.
Mm-mm.
But you know what though, at least you making that known. And that's another thing, a lot of times people don't sit there and they don't discuss their boundaries or, their likes and their dislikes and they allow somebody to just carry on and do what they gonna do, but at the same time they have issues with it. And if you know it ain't gonna work, then it ain't gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
Cut the ties and move on.
Yeah.
But that also goes back to if you are dating, honey, you are able to date multiple people. It does not have to be one person.
Yeah, and I feel like that's for me. That's kind of where I messed up because I didn't, I hadn't really dated in so long. I didn't really know how to date properly.
Hmm.
Whereas I feel like if I were to be going into the dating world now, I would do it completely different.
Right. Like, you know what I mean? Ain't nobody telling you to go out here and sleep with this person. And
Mm-mm. But
ain't
you
nobody
should
saying
get
that
to
at
know.
all.
You should
But
get to know people
you should get to know people and you should, go on
and have
multiple
an
days.
idea of where you want to go and what you really are looking for.
See if you have any true connections.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, you get with one person and you just scared to go out with somebody else. You just trying to fill this person out to see if it's gonna work, and then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, it didn't work, or now you know what I mean. You back to square one, and now maybe you don't want to do it again because that one right there was just so exhausting or draining. But
Mm-hmm.
what if you end up with the person and it wasn't even person that you would have ever been with to begin with, or a
Right.
person that don't respect you, don't respect your boundaries, or
Mm-hmm.
it's just one of those messed up type situations when if you would have dated multiple people, you may have made a better connection versus the one with the 30 red flags.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cause
Yeah.
where y'all at that don't got red flags? I'm looking for green flags or brown flags. I even take a purple flag, a blue flag. Y'all red flags, stay away
Yeah.
from me.
Well, I mean, I feel like everybody got some shit with us. Even us good people. We all carrying something, but I feel like it can't be like it can't be so bad that you can't work on your stuff or figure to have a conversation and be open to figure out what's really going on.
Mm,
But some of the stuff that people be having going on with them is just it's ridiculous at this big age.
yeah. And what I find a lot, a
Mm-hmm.
lot. Y'all know I get excited when I be saying the word 3 times. Stay out of my inbox and you at home living with your girlfriend.
Yeah, but that's 90% of these men.
Leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want no parts. I ain't coming into no already made family with you and your
Mm-hmm.
girl.
You'd be surprised
No,
how many
I
women
ain't. Trust me.
how many women are okay with it, and that's why they do it.
Well, I can't see that. That's a tricky situation too, cause you know what I mean. You got these men out here lying on everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I ain't in no relationship. I ain't this. I ain't that. I just seen a reel where the lady said she met a guy. She's supposed to finally meet up with him, and he
Mm-hmm.
says to her right before they meet up, he got a newborn.
Mm.
So she asked about the newborn because she like, you know what I mean? I ain't about to be with nobody with no newborn, because what that tells me,
You've been with somebody recently.
exactly. But not only that, he said that he was trapped into it.
Oh yeah.
And
You know
he
that's a
started
lie.
talking real bad about her. And she said, see, that was a flag to her.
Mhm.
So she left it alone where it was at, because if you got a newborn and you talking about that, you talking that bad about the newborn's mom,
Mm-hmm.
that tells me you still in a relationship with her.
Yeah, and I find, period, even when men talk real bad about their exes,
Honey,
like when you meet
yep,
them,
they still
they
messing with
still
them.
they
Yeah.
still got feelings for
Yep,
them.
yep.
99% of the time, it's still something there.
So yes, you got men coming in a situation talking about they ain't with nobody, they ain't this,
Mhm.
they ain't that, and sometimes, you know, times of days that they call, or you know what I mean, link up or whatever. Like you sitting there actually believing it, because it's a
Mhm.
time to where if they really was with somebody, that time limit or time frame that they're around, They could possibly be with somebody, but yeah, they still be with people.
Hmm.
They real crafty at it.
Especially nowadays, it's easy.